Episode 88, Brent Loseke.
Ooh, Michael Irvin episode.
Yay.
The Des Bryant episode.
All right, we're back. As always, we got Gunny Matheson, Joe Schmidt, and our special guest tonight, Brent Loseke.
Loseke!
Welcome, Brent.
Hey, Gunny.
Well, Brent, it's good to have you here.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Appreciate it. You and I go back. I've known you a long time.
I was thinking about that today. It's got to be close to 35 years, I'm thinking.
Oh, at least 15. Yeah,
least
we're not that old, are we?
Very easily 15.
Yeah, we're not that old, right?
Uh,
Oh my gosh!
Maybe you're
yeah,
not.
no, you're closer to right. I'm sure, at least, and it might be. Yeah, it's every part
trying
of
to
that.
think where I was in life at that time. I
Probably were you at Carol's? Maybe.
could have been. Yeah.
Yeah. What years did you work for Carol? How old were you then?
Oh God, I was little. I was young.
Because you're a lot older than me.
Yeah, I know.
And that's Carol
Lots.
Rose.
Carol Rose. Yes.
Yeah.
I told you they can dish it out. I told you. Would you
can
want to
take
go
it.
golf with that?
I can
I
take
mean, would
it.
you want to go golfing with that?
It's hard to hurt my feelings. That's fine.
It's hard to hurt mine too, but for some
Apparently
reason.
not. From what I've been hearing.
From what we've been talking about.
No, when
Just about golf.
Just
huh?
golf.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Carol, I worked for her probably 85 to 87, and then I went to Brazil for a year, and then I came back and worked 2 more years. So in the 80s, yeah.
So, but you grew up in the Midwest,
I grew up in Nebraska.
Nebraska
Yep.
boy. That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
there.
Grew up on a cow farm in Nebraska.
Got out of there as soon as you could.
I went to 1 year of college, and then I got out of there. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Graduated clean through my freshman year at the University of
so
Nebraska.
you left Nebraska and went to Carol's.
No, there were a couple stops in between.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah.
It was hot at Carol's. It was hot, wasn't it? Whew. Flames everywhere.
Yeah, I first person I worked for was Mark Chestnut in Kansas.
Okay.
I worked there 2.5 years. Probably most of what I learned about
Cutting horse training.
riding colts and cutting horses. We started lots of colts. That's where I learned a little bit about cutting. We roped. We did lots of stuff there.
Yeah.
Great experience.
Not Mark Chestnut the singer, Mark Chestnut the cutting
Mark
horse trainer.
Chestnut, the trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great experience. And I went to work for Bronk Willoughby. He was just a cutting horse trainer. That's all he did, but he was a very good cutting horse trainer. His dad, Jim Willoughby, wrote A General that the reining horse people know.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then from there, I went to work for Carol. Yep.
Very good. You were at Carol's for a year and then you went to Brazil.
Couple years, and then I went to Brazil, and then I came back for a couple of years. Yeah. I was there for a total of 5 years.
How'd you get the Brazil gig?
Well, I was at Carol's, and
Was it a woman by any chance?
the
She's
woman
right there.
was
I mean, she's right there.
that fell into place, but that wasn't the reason I went there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I had a premonition. Maybe I should go there. But anyway, yeah, I was at Carol's, and I was low man on the totem pole there. I was the colt breaker assistant, turn back guy, and I walked into Will Rogers Coliseum at a cutting, and Tommy Houston, who a lot of you know,
Yep.
was there, and he's a friend of mine. And I just said, I'm looking for a new opportunity, and he said, would you go to Brazil? I said, never thought about that, but sure. And one thing led to another, and I got the job and went down there, and it was really a great experience because I, when I was at Carol's, I was Guy Woods' assistant, and Guy and I are still friends for a long time. But when I was up there, I was turning back. I worked a couple here and there, but I showed one horse every once in a while. And I went to Brazil, and I was automatically the big guy on the block down there. We prepared 20 horses for each show, went, turned back all day and all night, showed multiple horses.
Great opportunity, huh?
Great opportunity.
Yeah, that's
incredible. Cool. Yeah. Full,
Just
full
cutting horses
immersion.
in Brazil?
Only cutting horses. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
How did I not know Guy worked for Carol?
Yeah, I
He
didn't
was
know
there
that.
several years.
He was your buddy. He
Yeah.
held it from you for a
didn't
long
want to tell
time.
you.
Guy and I.
Anyone
Well,
tell
how
you.
did and how did that happen? And neither one of them's dead.
He's Aussie.
It was turbulent. Yeah, it was turbulent.
Brent pulled the knife out of her hand.
Yeah, that's right.
No, Miss Carol, you don't want to do that.
Yeah,
Right? No?
talk her down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and guys like full on jujitsu, so he can
Oh,
keep,
yeah.
he can
Oh,
keep
yeah,
her
he
away.
was
I
at
think
that
Guy
time,
could
too.
handle
And,
Carol.
yeah, he could choke her out if he needed to. Choke her out and leave.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, guys. We need to have Guy on the show at some point.
Oh,
He's
it'd be a good show.
he's a
Yeah.
good dude. Guy used to sit. He used to be my neighbor over there on St. John
I
Road,
remember. Yeah.
and that's so much he'd come over. I'd buy a new horse, and he'd walk over there, and he'd look in the stall, and he'd go, "You think that horse is gonna stay sound?"
You got to take Guy golfing with Gunny. That would be fun.
Yeah, oh, that'd be
No,
real fun.
I don't
He
think
can
so.
dish it out pretty good.
Oh,
I
he's
don't
horrible.
think so. Kenny's face just changed.
Yeah.
He never hit a bad shot, so there's nothing to talk about.
I would like to conclude this episode of the show.
That's right.
I'm sorry, the Brent Loseke show is going to be cut short at 5 minutes and 30 seconds, but
Yeah, so it's been well established. Now,
idea.
now you certainly see that we are not wrong in saying that Gunny is oversensitive about his golf game.
Extremely.
And he's a good golfer. He's the best golfer of
never,
all of us.
never thrown a club. I don't
think
throw
a
clubs.
Sports psychologist
I-
might be in order.
You throw clubs a lot. You break clubs,
Yeah,
right?
you got to get it out.
Maybe that's my problem. I hold on to it.
Yeah, you're just keeping it
He
inside.
keeps everything inside. You got to get it out.
That's expensive. Jesus.
Yeah. It is a little bit expensive, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen a therapist yet, you guys. I think I'll be okay.
yeah. So who was Bobby there too when you
Yeah,
were?
he was
Because he
there.
was there forever,
He
right?
was there a long time. Yeah, he was there the whole time I was there. Yeah.
Bobby Lewis.
Yeah, Bobby Lewis.
Yeah. But I, since we're on the subject, I got a lot of respect for Carol Rose. She
We
had a
all
tough-
do.
Yeah, we all.
Yeah, for
we
sure.
all
I know y'all do, but I just want to say, to me, and this is said with all due respect, it's kind of like the military. I mean, she had a big ranch. It was all coming out of her pocket. Lots of horses, lots of overhead, lots of people. She knew what she wanted. And, I got a lot of respect. I mean, she'd walk out and, if you weren't doing what she wanted, she'd tell you and you could either like it or not. But I learned so much there, so much discipline, so much, how to take care of horses. I learned a lot.
Oh yeah, there's
And
yeah.
when she's generous, like holidays, birthdays, our daughter was born when we were there. The home we were living in, she decorated the room, the nursery, and I mean, a lot of people don't see
beyond generous.
A lot of people don't see the generous side
Yeah.
of her, but the good side is amazingly good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
No.
a lot of respect for her.
No, and I
Yeah.
know she's had I saw her with Jax,
Johnson.
Sarah Johnson's
Yeah.
Yeah.
son,
Oh,
and I mean just
for
kind of
sure.
took him over as her
Yep.
own grandson type thing, and
Big time.
so no, I know that there's that
Yeah.
side.
I also know there's the other
The other side too. Absolutely.
I've been victim to both sides. I mean,
I've-
I not victim to both sides. I've been victim to one side, but I've also seen the nice
Yeah,
side of her.
yeah.
She's
Yeah. I've
you're
been on and off the naughty list for a long time, but
well. You
I
at least
like her.
you at least qualified to get hired there. I went there for an interview.
Right, you didn't even get
Yeah,
hired.
no. I went there for an interview and it didn't work out. I left and I thought and then she called. I think she called Larry Sullivan or somebody, and told Larry Sullivan, yeah, that guy, he's got bad attitude.
Yeah, she's pretty
Yeah.
smart. Pretty
Yeah.
smart.
lady.
Turns out I was better suited to be self-employed. So,
Yeah. Anyway,
But you've been involved with all aspects of our business.
me.
You colt starter, fraternity finalist, now breeding horses. Majority of your time is consumed by standing studs.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, we stand 2 studs, and I take care of my mares and some other people's mares, and that's a big part of what we do now.
yeah.
what stud? Tell us what studs you stand.
We stand Colonel Shining Gun, who, for those of you who don't know out there,
They
he's
know.
at what, $3.5 million sire or something like that.
Listen,
Yeah.
our Tenza fans know.
They know.
They
Okay,
know.
sorry.
They're educated.
Very good. Colonel Shining Gun and Patriot, and y'all know who he is.
Yep.
But Yep.
Yep. No, Colonel Shining Gun. I had one last year that I liked very much. He's a nice horse.
Cool.
Stanley.
Stanley.
We just had 2 Patriots born last month out of Tyra.
Yep. Well, Patriot, that run that Nathan had on Patriot at the Run for a Million was maybe the best run I've ever seen in the
It
reining
was
horse.
super special. Yeah.
That was Wimpy's Little Step, Gonna Trash a Run. It was one of those runs you remember where you were.
Yeah.
I mean, it was phenomenal.
It was it was better than those.
Everything
I mean,
clicked.
it was
Yeah.
it was the best run.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it wasn't better. I'm just saying that you know those were it was like boomerang. You knew where you were
Yeah,
when you
100%.
knew where the run was and where it happened and what year it happened and everything about
Yeah.
it. I mean, it was special. It was whoa.
Yeah, and it was a surprise too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing fired off turning, but then finished stopping big.
Yeah,
and-
he always turned big. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did every maneuver big
And I-
that day.
And I don't
But
think
that
he
day it
wasn't.
worked.
But he wasn't on his high at that moment in time
Right.
in his career.
Yeah.
He was actually coming off of
Yeah,
a
he
not because he won. He tied to win the NRBC. He tied like he had won some big stuff. Well, the horse show before he didn't win, and it's I don't remember, but he's on the downhill slide, and then
I think he missed the finals at the Derby. And,
and then boom, holy cow, he won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't. I mean, he just didn't fire at the Derby, which I mean, we all that happens.
They're horses.
But then comes out there, and certainly it was kind of one of those stories. It was an awesome story because you could pick 10 guys out of that class that you thought could be the winner.
Yeah.
But that wasn't one of them until that night.
Right.
Not because he wasn't a great horse, just because based off of his last horse show, you're going, well, I don't know.
Yep.
And then, like, we had Nathan on the show after that, and he said that horse warmed up great. Like, from the time he got off the trailer, he said he felt great the whole time he was there.
Yeah.
And that horse did look great. I mean, he looked amazing.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a fun reining. That was probably as good a. Do you look at the top 5 horses in that reining? That was probably the best reining that
I don't remember.
we've ever
I don't
had.
remember who was second.
Nobody cares.
Cade was 3rd.
Oh. Yeah,
Vintage
third so
Smoke
far.
was probably second.
Do you remember who was second?
No,
Fapani, no? On Mike McIntyre's horse.
Trash Talking Spook.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I think so.
Nobody remembers.
I don't know.
See,
Bet you a
well,
dollar.
you know what? Our tens of viewers are going to educate us. They'll remember.
Yeah.
We just remember Patriot.
Yeah, no, he was phenomenal. Yeah, he was phenomenal. So, well,
Danny Tremblay was second. Damn, I remembered. Tinker with Guns.
no,
I don't think so.
no.
He was second one of them years.
Yeah, that was last year, I think.
Man, it was the year Jason won. The first year
Yeah.
Jason
Yeah.
won.
Yeah.
Which year Jason won?
Yeah, Jason's good.
Yeah, Jason's a pain in the butt.
All right, well, let's go back to Brazil for a second.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's go back
So,
to Brazil. He
So,
said,
when
Get
you
us
left,
back.
what?
whoa,
you-
Jay! Whoa, Joe's taking over the show.
I want to go back
Go.
from Brazil. Then you went back to Carroll's.
Yeah. I was
then-
in Brazil, almost
And what?
done
Wait a
down-
minute. And you took something back with you?
From Brazil?
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought something back. Yeah. So that story. So I went, when I worked down there, we had 10 major shows and 10 minor shows. But the guy I worked for was the president of the Brazilian Quarter Horse Association. And he was a real cutting enthusiast. So there were several trips I went on that he knew, like I went all over Brazil, like seriously 17, 20 hours away, to places where there was going to be a major horse show, not necessarily with a cutting competition, but to put on a demonstration. I took 2 nice horses, put on a demonstration, and boss sent me up to a place north of Brasilia, to a ranch there that was going to have a cattle sale and a horse sale, and it was close to the capital, and a lot of government ministers and rich people were going to be there. So I went up there with a couple horses, and I met my future wife there.
Did you get fired after that? Was he like, you're out there screwing around and you just with women and you just didn't even take this seriously? You were out at the beach partying, weren't you? You found her at the beach, didn't you?
There was no beach near where we were. Yeah.
Okay.
No, he didn't say that, but
Oh.
he
It
did
didn't go on like that.
It wasn't
sorry.
like that, but
Sorry.
it could have been. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I met my wife Paula, my future wife. Yep. 35 years later, here we are. Just celebrated 35. Yep.
Well, if you came home with her, obviously the women look better in Brazil than the men because
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know what she was thinking, but
See, it's not very funny when they pick on you, is it? Huh?
I can, unlike you, I can take
I
it.
never would have said something like that. Never would have said something like that.
So when did you start? So all you've talked about so far is the cutters. When did you transition into the reiners?
So the second time I was at Carol Rose's, I got a chance to work some and ride a few, show a few while I was there. Not a lot, but Craig Johnson was her guy at the time, and he came over and rode all the time because he didn't have an indoor arena. And I just kind of got into it a little bit, but I still love cutting, but I hate cattle, so that's probably not a good fit for me.
Yeah.
So,
I get
so anyway, time passed, and I went to Babcock's after I was at Carol's, and we were.
You're a superhero.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Me too.
So anyway, there was a time there where I was working cutting horses all morning. We did a lot of showed some, we were minor partners in Chocolate Chic Olena at that time. So I went over there mainly to start the first couple colt crops of Chocolate Chic Olena colts and hopefully get them going the right direction. And there was a time there where I was working cutters all morning and reiners all afternoon, just the way it worked out. And I started realizing that all morning I was just craving the afternoon instead of hoping the cow would work right, hoping my turnback man would work right, just doing all the crap you got to worry about with cutting. I just thought it was so cool to go out there and just me and a horse out there doing my thing, it was just us. And I don't know. Then when I went out on my own a few years later, I just didn't do the cow thing. I like the reiners more. I like the lifestyle, quality of life better.
Right. Did you get to spend some time with? Craig helped you some, or did you get to spend some time with Craig?
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a freaking good horse trainer.
Very good horse trainer. Good. Learned a lot. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It was great.
I'm just thinking about doing a Craig Johnson impersonation, but
Please do.
no, I can't. I can't. Oh, hey, Brent, how you doing? Oh, looks good.
That's pretty good.
Hey,
That's
Ranchfield.
great.
Ranch fuel. Time for a little bit of ranch fuel. And what do you have with that ranch fuel?
Well, there was Crown Royal in there, but I think I drank it all.
No. Well, you want some more?
I got to drive home, but yeah. No, I'm good.
I'll drop you off on the way home.
No. This ranch fuel will keep me going.
Yeah.
So then from Babcock's, did you go out on your own and then
Babcock's,
buy your
yeah.
place?
Paul and I bought our first place there at Gainesville address, but Callisburg, kind of in between Gainesville and
The
and
Colt
Whitesboro.
Company.
Started the Colt Company. Yeah, I'll never forget.
that.
We were at our attorney's office doing the paperwork to incorporate the Colt Company, and he was like, "Why don't you just name it Loseke Quarter Horses or something like that?" And I was like, first of all, nobody knows how to spell Loseke properly. And, I don't know, just got to have your colts is mainly what I do. That's kind of my niche that has allowed me not to have to go get a real job all these years. So, just thought it would be good to brand it that way. So that's what we did.
That was a good brand because I mean, everybody knows the Colt Company.
Yeah.
I mean, that worked out good.
Well, and it's Colt starting season too, so I mean,
yeah.
it's a good time to have you here.
Thank you.
And then
So
what year was that?
Oh,
97?
97.
Okay. Yeah, because I think we moved up there in like 99 or something.
Yeah. Our son was just born at that time. So he was born in 97. Yep.
And in that time, I mean, you started some pretty big time horses that ended up doing pretty well.
Yeah. During my career, if you make a list, I start them and then other people
But there
go
was
on
like
with them. But
Chocolate Chic Olena,
Chocolate
Chick
Chic Olena,
Please.
Chick Please. I started Shining Spark when I was at Carol's. I don't know. There's quite a few. Yeah.
Did you know those horses were special right from the get-go?
Shining Spark for sure. Yeah, I did. Yeah, Chocolate Chic Olena. My mentor Mark Chestnut started him for me. I don't know if you want to. I got a 5-minute story.
Yeah,
I don't
take
know if
it.
you wanna,
We
yeah,
got-
it's probably
roll.
interesting.
We got 5 minutes.
Okay, good. So I was at Babcock's when he was just turned 2-year-old, and this horse, he had white around his eyes, and he was gorgeous, and he was out of my J-Bar Felsie mare. I mean, I loved him, but I remember in the fall, Gene Cunningham, the horseshoer, was gonna trim him, and I was out riding around the ranch, and he come to the door of the barn, and he waved me over, and he said, "Come here, I want you to watch this." So he I rode up there, and he slid his hand down the horse's hip, and faster than you can imagine. Every time he got his hand down to there, boom, he'd fire big time fast, and then he gave him some drugs and got him trimmed, but he wanted me to see that. So I don't know, a week or two later, we were going to brand him, and I just thought I'd try it too, and I slid my hand down there, and he kicked so hard and so fast that my hand swung around and banged the stall front behind me and really hurt my hand. So even though I loved him, I knew he was going to be a handful. So I saw Mark Chestnut at the cutting futurity, and I said, "Man, I've got 30 colts to start, and the one that scares me the most is my own horse. Can I send him to you?" And he said, "Sure, I'll be over after the futurity's over and pick him up." So, but he said, "I need him for 2 months." I said, "That's fine." So he come over, picked him up, disappeared. 2 months later, I'm watching the calendar, and I call him up and say, "Hey, Mark, how's the colt doing?" "Oh, he's doing pretty good." And I said, 2 months is up whatever day. And he said, "I need another week." I said, "Okay, great. Take another week." So anyway, the day came to go pick him up, and he was in Whitesboro at the place where the railroad tracks go. Mark Chestnut's
Yeah.
place.
56
Yep.
and 377.
Right on the overpass.
So anyway, I worked all day at Babcock's, went over there with a horse trailer, and Mark had this all planned out. I so wish I'd had an iPhone or a video camera at the time to film the whole thing, because it was such a special production. But he had a gate across his driveway. He met me at the gate. He opened the gate, told me where to park, and it had rained, and there was mud puddles everywhere and all that. And he told me where to park. He told me, "Open the trailer door, leave it there." Okay, great. So we go in the barn, and go in the barn, turn right down the little alleyway to a stall, and there he is, and the horse is eating, and he walks in with a snaffle and goes, and the horse hits the back wall, presenting his left side, and just stands there like they're supposed to, and walks up, puts the snaffle on him. And remember, this whole time, this is the horse that was kicking a couple months earlier, trying to kill us. Takes the snaffle, gets behind him, and drives him out of the stall, drives him down the alleyway, drives him left down the alleyway. There's horses tied on either side. He drives them in and out of there just with a snaffle. And we go out the end of the barn, and, through the mud, or I forget about the mud puddle, but around the mud puddle, the trailer's there with the door open, drives him up in the trailer, pets on him. We're sitting there talking. I said, "Man, that's really cool." So that was just the beginning. He backs him out of the trailer, turns him around, puts the reins up over the neck, 20 feet away from the trailer, points him at the trailer and smooches to him. This son of a gun just runs in the trailer.
That's
So go get him out of the trailer, take him back in, saddle him, concrete alleyway. He gets on him in the barn, rides him in and out of the horses that are tied there. We're out across the mud puddle, out into a little pasture he's got. He's loping him around the pasture both ways. He gets behind the saddle, is loping him both ways. Just no big deal. Horse never moves his head. He's just chilled out. He comes by me. I was standing at the gate to the pasture, back into the arena. He said, "Follow me." So I go in there. He rides him around the arena a little more, takes the bridle off him, and he's riding him around the arena with no bridle, rein under the neck, behind the saddle. Rides up in front of me, says, "Whoa." Horse does a little baby stop. He didn't have sliders on, but I mean, he came to a
60
stop
days training.
really quick. And then so he's already behind the saddle. He slides off the horse's butt, like he's not holding the reins. Slides off the horse's butt. He's standing right there behind the horse that was going to kill me a couple months earlier. And then he gets a hold of the tail and he just flops down on his butt, one leg going up each side of the horse. And he's sitting there petting him on his hocks, and I'm just not believing what I'm seeing. I've never seen anything like it.
What horse
before.
was this?
It's in Chocolate Chic
Chocolate Chic
Olena.
Olena.
Yeah. And so he's there petting him, talking to me. He said, watch this. This is the best part. So he gets a hold of the tail, gets his feet set, smooches to him. Horse walks forward, pulls him up, and he says, whoa, and the horse just locks up like that. And then that was the end of the show. But God, it was such a good show.
That's
And I was
pretty
the only
impressive.
person that saw it.
That's pretty impressive.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I can. There's Mark. I mean, I don't know that part about him, but God, the 2-year-olds he's trained for cutters
So
have
good.
won millions.
So
huh?
good. Oh,
Yeah.
he's beautiful.
Is he still there?
No, he sold the place. He lives I think he lives most of the time near Callisburg. He does spend a lot of time in Arizona also.
Why do you think that in the cutting horse industry, there's so many guys out there that just do 2-year-olds and make a really good living at it, and in the reining horse business, we don't have that?
I don't have an intelligent answer for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true though. I know what you're saying. It's
Yeah,
true.
and I don't know why, because like everybody in the reining horse business, it seems like everybody wants to show.
Yeah.
And in the cutting horse business, it seems like there's plenty of guys
Yeah.
that are happy just getting them started and moving them on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And starting the next year's crop. I mean, we could use in the reining horse business, we could use 10 guys
Yeah. Just starting.
just starting
For
colts
sure. For sure.
that could do a good job. And,
Not just starting them, riding them their whole 2-year-old year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think so? You've done both. Do you think it's harder? So, I've done both, not as much as you've done both, but I've done both also. And do you feel like it's a little bit easier to start a cutting horse, like a 2-year-old on cattle, than it is to train one to stop and turn and do all that?
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Because the
Reining-
cutters either got it or they don't.
Right. Yeah. That's true. And reining, they got to have the talent. They got to be trainable. But there's just a lot of little intricate things that they need to learn.
And
but
then you
cutting
need,
is
and then
simpler.
you need somebody in this day and age, when you send a 2-year-old out, you need somebody that's going to teach it to do the maneuvers without pissing it off.
Yeah.
Without getting it back and having, some shit there that you have to deprogram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the cutters, I think like some of those good guys like Mark and all those guys you're talking about, they can get them watching a cow and just
Yeah.
bam, bam, bam. And then they send it to, or sell it or send it back to whoever, to Matt Gaines or, the Hansmans or whoever. And those guys can just take them from there.
That's one thing, kind of like what you're saying. But I think, and I had lots of assistants when I was riding more horses. And, it's hard to find a guy that will just understands. It's like a kid in first grade or second grade or third. Okay, they're in second grade. We do second grade stuff.
Right.
You're not going to impress me if you get them doing sixth grade stuff in a month.
Right.
Do not do that. It's hard to
100%.
find. Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
And
'cause
hard
everybody
to
gets
teach.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to teach.
Yeah.
And it's just like what you had a great example with Chocolate Chic Olena. There's so many guys in the business today that would go, oh, he's no good.
Yes.
Yeah. True. It's true.
They wouldn't work
Yeah.
through it. They would just go, oh,
Yeah.
he's no good. He kicks it. He kicks. He's a rotten son of a bitch.
Yeah.
We need to just,
Yeah.
we need to cut him and send him away or whatever, I mean,
Or have no plan to actually attack that problem and trying to figure
Yeah,
it out.
right.
Have no idea how to do any of that.
right. I mean, that's my biggest thing. I think that is a pet peeve with all of the new people that we get. When I get somebody that new come to work for me and they ride one for 30 days and they say, I don't think this one's good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, You haven't won 10 cents in your whole life. And you're telling me that one's not good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, let's ride it for 6 months and let's see, where it ends up. Because some of, we all know, some of the very, very best open level 4 reining have a lot of quirks.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they're some of the hardest ones.
For sure. Yeah.
Super Mario.
Yeah.
He was a funny horse.
Yeah. Very quirky.
Yeah.
So one thing about, me thinking back over the years of the horses that succeeded and all that, I don't know. It's on the same subject, but I think my theory is if they're going to, before they're a good reining horse or cutting horse or whatever, first of all, they have to be good transportation. That's a simple, very simple way of putting it. But so I don't as much anymore, but I used to ride pastures and through creeks and do stuff and, put the basics on them as well as I could. But I can't tell you how many times I had a colt that I thought was pretty special and the people I worked for at the time thought was pretty special. Sent him to a big time trainer. And, the first feedback you get is, oh, yeah, it's a nice colt, but it's pretty green. And, that's great. Many, many times a year later, that was their best horse and they're doing good. And, oh, yeah, this horse is great. I think there's, definitely something to be said. There is such a thing, obviously, as too green, but I'd rather have one a little too green if I was getting it than one that's a little too advanced, if they're young.
I think a horse that you save to train for tomorrow every day is easier to train tomorrow than one you use up today.
For sure. Absolutely.
Well, and didn't your dad always say, make it to where you can get to town first or something, ride him to town first?
My dad didn't, but I would have commended him if he had said that.
I thought you said your dad.
Dude, speaking of going to town first, him and Chincho, the first year they started Wimpy's Little Steps out of Green Valley Ranch there when Wimpy moved there. Dude, like day one, they get saddles on them. You hear, bang, boom, bang, boom, bang, boom, bang. And then you just see the gate open. And you see a crazy guy running down the driveway on this animal. Day 1, day 2, day 3. As soon as they're on it, the gates open. They're running around in a 100-acre pasture.
Yeah.
I mean, they were you guys were so comfortable doing it. I'd be scared to death for you,
but by day 7, the
Nothing
horses
bothered
didn't.
them.
Yeah, nothing bothered them. Yeah. You can survive day 1, 2, and 3. You're
We've
in good
had
shape.
this conversation on the show a couple of times. I mean, everybody has a different approach, but for me, I want those kids to start them.
Yep.
And get on them and
just
go.
go.
Me
Turn
too.
loose.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Get on them and go. And everybody's different.
Yeah, but you got to watch those kids that you're wanting to do that. They aren't like you when you were growing up. Like that's what Cade said. They're not like how you started. You're wanting these guys to go. Just do it.
Yeah.
Well, how do I, like Bo the other day? How do I get this one to go? Cluck to it. It's deaf, and then you ride off. I'm like, what? Tom help you? He goes, he said to cluck to it. The thing's deaf. That's the information you give these guys.
Yeah, he's just
just go
it and then kick it.
Just go. How do I do that, Tom? Just do it.
Yeah.
What if he does this? What if he runs me out the gate? Don't let him run. Let you run out the gate. Don't do that. Okay.
It all seems pretty common sense to me.
Yeah.
I think it makes perfect sense.
That's the input these poor kids get. He never talks to them other than, hey, don't do that. Once every 6 months.
Yeah, and quit screwing around. Get that some bitch out loping around.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, that's my number one. And if they get a bronchi, I don't know if we've talked about it before. I don't know if you've ever done this or heard, but I mean, when I was growing up, if we had a bronchi one, which they were all bronchi then, we started them all in stalls. I mean, we just.
Oh, I've heard about that, but I've never done it myself.
I mean, you can't get in trouble really.
Yeah.
You can get them. You can get them to where you can cluck them around and roll them back in that stall and get them. And then my dad would just open the stall and out we go. And it took about 2 days. But the thing is, you had to buck out of them because my dad's saying always was never steal a ride. Never steal a ride. If you're getting on them, ride them.
Yeah.
Don't tiptoe around and try and avoid all the trouble.
I love that.
Yeah, so
for sure.
that was his thing. So even in the stall when we're on him, we'd kick them around and pull them around, roll them back into the wall, roll them back into the wall. I mean, the buck was gone.
Yeah.
You had a little bit of steer, and then you'd open the gate. It wasn't like a rodeo. I mean, it was just like, it was controlled chaos a little bit, you know?
Well, it's good to keep them busy and make
Yeah.
them work. Yeah. You don't want to let them sit around and think too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I always really tell my help. I hate it when they come out in the arena for the first couple of days and they just walk.
Oh,
You know, it's
drive me
like, boys,
crazy.
we got to get
yeah,
going,
for
you
sure.
know?
For sure.
Let's get going. But it's I think the art of riding a bronc is gone. And it should be, because we don't have many broncs anymore.
Our horses are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you were talking about, riding them out in the pasture and across the creek, almost nobody has a pasture and a creek anymore.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
a lot of those kids haven't even grown up doing that.
Yeah.
You know, when you say, "Oh, it's like riding down the ditch bank," and they look
Yeah.
at you cross-eyed, and they're like, "What's a ditch bank?"
Yeah. And a lot of those horses, I promise you, I mean, we grew up in hill country and then up and down the hills and through the trees. I mean, my dad, it was, when I was a little kid, he'd go, "All right, keep up." And I'd have to follow him. And we'd jump over a log and go down it was like Snowy River. I mean, straight downhill and up the other side. And we just had to do all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get on one of these things that we're raising today
Yeah.
and go do that because they've never been on ground that's not perfectly level.
Right.
You know, I mean, they'd kill you out there.
I used to do similar things with my assistants I had, because I tried to tell them, like, go ride in the pasture. Okay, well, they, like you said, they'll walk around and stand behind a tree, and you know, they didn't have phones to look at that time, but I'd play follow the leader.
Yeah.
Sometimes with 3 people behind me, I'd say, keep, just like your dad, keep up. Yeah, teach them how to
It's the best
up
way.
and down and pick a tree on the other side and ride to it, and then turn and go to that thing and just get a little sweat on them and make them work. And
It's the best way. I mean, I would, the 2-year-olds personally, I want to teach them 1 + 1, 2 + 2.
Absolutely.
And skip all the,
Absolutely.
what do you call the advanced math?
Like
Calculus.
algebra,
Trigonometry.
calculus?
Algebra. Skip all the algebra.
Trigonometry.
I skipped algebra.
Obviously.
And I'm kick-ass.
Tom, define algebra. What is the definition of algebra?
I think it has letters and stuff.
It
Yeah,
does.
it's got
God, that
theorems.
doesn't sound
Yeah.
like math.
It's got
Yeah.
theorems.
And I only one time, since I graduated from high school, one time I needed to use algebra. I was trying to figure out how many 12-foot panels I needed to make a 60-foot round
I
pen.
think that's
I've done
geometry.
that. Yeah.
It is?
I'm pretty sure that's geometry.
Sounds
yeah.
geometrical.
Yeah,
Well, it's
that's-
at any rate, it's math. that
high
was
level
above,
math.
It was above my head. So I called Gina Schaffhauser, and she
helped you.
just bam. I had the answer. Well, if you have a cell phone,
yeah,
you
know.
really don't need to be smart at anything anymore.
Well,
Yeah,
I think you should still focus on trying to be
I'm pretty
smart.
sure if you just
It's a
ask
little
your
late,
phone,
huh?
how many 12-foot panels do I need for a 60-foot round pen?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it. We've never done this before.
No. Not
How
gonna
many
work.
12-foot panels do I need for a 60-foot round pen?
No way.
We don't know what that is.
That's how many 12-foot round pens.
Did you say 16?
16.
Yeah, that's right.
With a diameter of 60 feet.
It's pi r
I
squared.
stand corrected. Wow.
It's pretty good.
We don't have to be smart.
No.
Yeah.
That's called the
Pointless.
Pythagorean theorem, maybe?
No. I think it's supposed to be. I think it's pi r squared or.
I wasted so much time in high school trying to
times a
get out of
diameter.
algebra. They should have just let me be out of it.
Really, all you need to do is get a 3-foot lead rope and draw a line in the sand. I mean, and then just put your panels up.
Yeah, but you got to know,
you got to know
how
how
many
many
to
to
buy.
buy.
Oh, just buy too many.
Yeah.
Because you can always use panels.
Yeah, yeah. You
can
can have a
always-
gate that's
You're gonna
broke,
need
you
them
need to
somewhere.
panel it up.
Yeah. Always
You
use
guys keep.
panels.
I have to make another drink.
Okay.
I'm
all
good.
right.
Thanks.
So you had your place in
He didn't ask you.
Callisford.
He didn't ask me.
Oh, I just assumed.
No. No.
So what's that, Joe?
You had your place in Callisburg,
Yes,
and then when did you move from there?
So the way that worked was we were there for 5 years, Paula. I mean, or so, 5 years or so.
Green Valley happened.
Was working great. We
And it was a beautiful place. Like, I mean, your
was
track, and you had the trees
It
where
was
you could tie
a
the
pretty
horses.
piece of property, and we
It
built
still
that.
is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah, they have added to it since we were there, but beautiful piece of property, and we bought that. It was bare land. We built everything there. Yeah. And so one Sunday in the spring, I got a phone call from a guy. I'd never heard of him before. And he said, yeah, I'm in the neighborhood, and was wondering if I could come out and look at some horses. I'm from California. And I said, sure. He came out. Wallace Weiniger was the guy. Day we met him. And he told us the story. He said, yeah, I called these other guys in the Rainer, but they're all getting ready to go to the NRBC, and nobody really had time, and, I'm just trying to find somebody. So we took him in. We looked at horses. He had lunch with us. We hit it off. Long story short, he he was from Utah, had a business in California, and he loved horses and bought a couple from us. And he Green Valley became available, and just jokingly one day he was talking about maybe trying to get a place in Texas. I said, hey, Green Valley's for sale. A couple days later, he and his family were in Texas looking at it, and a short time later they bought it. And everybody knows Green Valley, now Cardinal. I mean, it's a palace. Tom's built it, basically. He designed it. It's a palace. And but Wallace said, he said, if I buy this place, you're going to have to come down and help us with it, because he said, I can't do this. And I said, who's going to pass a deal like that? So we went down there, sold our place, and it was a good move. Yeah, I have no regrets about it. It was great.
And Wallace is a good dude.
He is legit good dude.
I've
Nothing.
done a lot of business with Wallace over the years.
Yeah.
And he is a good dude. I mean, I know that.
They're still in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still playing, and that I got along. The whole family really is a good bunch
Fantastic
of
people. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
And it was Green Valley Farm, and they made a little change, turned it to Green Valley Ranch, and now it's Cardinal Reining Horses, and now it's going to be something else because they just sold it.
Yeah.
Hasn't closed yet, but but it will. But I'm sure it will. So
Yeah. So anyway, we were at Green Valley for
actually,
Legally, he's not supposed to know that.
Actually, I don't know.
Cut, edit, stricken that from the tape.
Actually, I don't know if it's closed or yet or not, but I feel like that's probably going to happen. And I feel like the new owners we will have on the show,
I hope so.
as soon as Joe gets back from being molested in China.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Joe-san.
Not gonna happen.
Oh,
Look so nice.
he got his haircut. You see, he got his
Yeah, did you see
haircut.
that, dude?
Yeah.
Shaved and everything.
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah.
Looked
Listen.
up, looking good.
Hey, can we have a show without Joe?
Well, I'm gonna be gone here pretty quick, so you can.
No,
No.
Tom won't do it. It's a matter of principle. Because I tried to get out of come and shooting the show a couple times. We're not doing
Yeah,
a show
no,
without
no,
you.
you can't.
No, I'm very loyal. I'm very loyal.
you the man, Joe.
Huh?
Dude, did you cut off those golden locks? Are they short again? Oh,
It's
dude.
shorter.
Dude,
it's shorter
that's-
because Mandy says
BS.
Mandy says
96% of the viewers want to see you grow the little rough peppy mullet.
That's what I was just going to say. I want to see that look again.
We want to see the
I had
golden
it.
locks, baby.
I had it, but Mandy says I have old hair and not young hair.
She's saying that's not what she said, dude.
about
That's
But that's
what
how you
she
took it.
said. No, that's what she said.
Probably a
about
couple expletives mixed
Yeah, I
in
think
there.
you
She's
took
about
it
as
that
mean
way,
as you
right?
are on the golf course, huh?
Oh, she's mean, but I'm used to it.
Yeah.
No.
She said you had old man hair.
Yeah.
It's just a different texture than it used to be when he was little.
And
Like,
So
it's
the
many
old
hair
hair is
follicles,
different
too.
than the young hair.
it's bad
Oh,
eyes.
that's implying that a grayer hair is a little more coarse.
I don't have any
Whoa!
gray
That's
hair.
what I heard.
have no
Whoa,
gray hair.
well, it's turning, is what she's
But
saying.
I do want to say to all of our viewers, anybody in this whole North Texas area, call Courtney Van Landing.
Oh, yeah. See, I got my hair cut at Sport Clips the day before she came. Why do they have to talk to you at the sport clips. Like, this lady told me her whole life story in like 10 minutes.
They never talk to
Oh,
me.
I hate it. Like, I need to I just want to have them write something down.
See this face?
Please don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Copy
I try
this
it.
face.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
try
try
it.
that.
Because people
Dude,
don't want to
That's
talk
a
to
talk
you.
suppressor.
Oh my
And-
God. What are
and
you
you-
doing today?
No.
Errands.
Joe, 3 times you got to go.
Jesus.
Like you just don't give a shit.
No,
You're
I really
saying, "No,
do.
quit talking."
I try. I don't say anything. So anyway, back to Brent. Okay.
Yes.
Green Valley.
Green Valley, our time there, we decided it was time to move on. Life goes on. We owned 10 acres a couple miles from Green Valley, right behind here.
You
I-
built a Pizza Hut. That's right. I remember.
Yeah.
we had a house with a red roof on, so Gunny's Pizza Hut.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
right over
it's
here.
there.
That's
Yeah,
right.
right there.
Didn't think of it.
Anyway,
Pizza
we
Hut.
trained out of there for 5 or so years, I guess. And, our kids were in Denton High School. We didn't want to move while they were in school. They graduated. Really, I was looking we had too much house for empty nesters. I had 10 acres. We had 30 some horses on the property. So needed less house, more land, hopefully a little further north so we could get more bang for the buck. And we found a place up, 20 miles north and moved up there. And it's been a good move for us. It's a great place. We're happy.
BH's old place.
Bill Horn's old place.
Yeah,
Yep.
right behind Cinder Lakes.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of history.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a nice area too.
It's pretty up there.
It's a
Yeah.
nice area. It's pretty country.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
grass. It's nice up there.
Just too many gravel roads.
Yeah.
You got to work on that.
They just we were excited a couple weeks ago. They put new gravel on our little road. And we were thinking, yes. Boy, that rainy spell. It was a disaster. The
Yeah.
cars. When
Whenever
it
we-
gets backed in, it'll be good. But
Whenever we go to your house to look at horses, Mandy makes me drive my car.
yeah,
She doesn't want to take her clean car on your gravel road.
You don't want to take the purple smurple mobile.
No. No.
yeah.
You know how she is.
Well, where we live, it's a lot more out in the country than here, but we're on a little gravel loop, not too far from a couple main roads, but you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere there because it's very isolated. We like it.
Yeah. You're not in the middle of the nowhere, but you're not far off.
No,
I
yeah.
mean, there's not a lot.
Traffic's getting crazy on our road now. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Where do you go if you want to go for lunch to eat? Where do you go?
Us? Well,
The house? Paul,
Yeah.
Paula, get busy.
need a sandwich.
Yeah, that's not what happens.
Sorry.
Yeah, he makes the sandwiches for Paula.
Yeah.
Paula, I'm hungry. I need a sandwich.
you
I'll be
guys-
there and I'll make us 2.
You guys didn't see Paula, but she's holding a whip and she just cracked it with her eyes.
Yeah, she doesn't need to actually have a whip. She can crack it with her. You're amazing, baby. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, there's places to go. There's a little store at the 4-way stop there. There's
Yeah, they make a
902
great
Grill,
Yeah.
Tioga,
Yeah.
Nick's. Yeah.
Nick's is
Clark's.
30 minutes away.
It's not 30 minutes.
Huh?
No, it's 20 minutes.
Oh, well, there you go. See.
It's a lot better than going to Denton.
Yeah.
No,
That's
we're
that's
no,
a trip.
no. Oh yeah, for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're 8 minutes from Denton.
Yeah.
My wife can sit in the morning or in the night when we're going to bed before we're ready to sleep, because this is what she does at night when we're getting ready to fall asleep. She orders groceries.
My wife watches crime shows.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah, mine does too.
Mine does that and orders groceries.
Okay. Cool.
You guys are making me uncomfortable.
What do you do?
What
Kenny?
does your
Let's hear
wife do
the-
at night?
So I had a couple Patriot babies lately. They're beautiful. They're out of Tyra. Had a stud colt. His name's Gibson.
Yeah.
Had a filly. We
Gibson?
normally don't.
Gibson,
Why'd you name him Gibson? Like after the guitar?
No.
Oh.
Mel.
Mel. He played He played the main character in the movie Patriot.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Oh, that Mel Gibson. Gotcha.
That was quite a
There's only one
video
Mel
she has on
Gibson. I
Facebook.
didn't-
Little affectionate
I was thinking
baby rubbing all
Melissa
over.
Van Dorp
Yeah,
for
he's
a
a
second.
friendly
He
little
said
baby.
Mel.
That's
I'm like,
good.
oh, Melissa.
Sometimes they
Wait,
just have
what?
private conversations down there. It's okay.
Sorry.
They're guests of the show sometimes too. This goes to show they don't care about what I need.
Yeah, but
They don't care about what I need. My needs, they don't give a shit about.
Gunny, I care.
I know.
Tell me.
You're a nice guy.
Thank you.
People like you.
Thank you.
People like me. Them too. They're too mean.
Boom. Yeah.
No, I beg to differ. People do like Joe.
Yeah, I was gonna say. That they like me.
That's good.
Oh, that's because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
look so
So
nice.
That was,
Dude,
that
I
was from
can't-
Gunny and my trip to Japan about 15
Yeah, we
years
traveled
ago.
the
I didn't
world, too.
realize.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I think
Oh,
it was
yeah.
15 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I got a memory on Facebook of us.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been 15 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a little kind of scary.
Yeah. Well, we're a little bit nervous because
Yep,
Yeah.
we got in a car accident the last day. We weren't driving, but
No. I was in the back seat on the driver's side, and I saw the guy coming just heading for the T-bone, and I'm like, oh. And I slid over to
Yeah.
this side,
both of us
And
saw
the
it.
guy-
We knew it was coming.
and the guy driving was like, oh, my fault? My fault? Well, man, we've run 25 red lights this week. We don't know it's your fault. We don't know if red
Yeah.
means go here or green
I'm-
means stop. We have
I'm
no
that way
idea.
in Mexico. I don't
Oh.
understand.
I mean, we were going through so many red lights.
Yeah.
We got lost going to and from the show, and it was
awesome.
just like
And
he
the guy
goes,
was Japanese.
yeah. Well, and he said, he goes, I said the light was red, dude, but we've been running red lights all this whole week. I
Yeah.
thought it was something you guys did. His brand new Ford Explorer still had plastic on the dash and
God.
everything. Yeah,
It's unfortunate.
No, it was
Yeah,
fun.
It
was
wasn't
something
too
to
bad.
talk about.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, kind of exciting.
Cool. Very
But,
cool.
yeah, so we're a little bit worried about Joe's next trip because we
Yeah.
want him to come back because he's a big part of the show, right?
Yeah, yeah, just because of the show.
Just
If
big
Joe
part of the-
doesn't come back, if he's locked in the guy's cellar, throwing lotion at him, telling him to put the lotion on, then we can't have the show anymore.
yeah,
This is terrible.
yeah.
This is
Put
terrible.
the lotion on.
Yeah, that
You
would
look
be
so
bad.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh
well,
yeah. Oh yeah.
God, that would be terrible. What was that guy's name? Bill, Wild Bill, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Something cut the,
Yeah. Yeah.
wearing my skin as a mask.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that would be
Oh, yeah.
horrible. Yeah, what happened to Joe? Oh, dude.
Have we got a story?
Yeah, check
They
out
made a
this
movie
photo.
about it 40 years ago.
Check out this photo. This is Joe's skin. It's on this other guy. That would be horrible. Jesus Christ.
It's hard to top that.
Yeah, right? God, my dogs would be so bummed. Poor little hobo and Ray.
You know what they say? The show must go on. So
Yeah. Oh no, Cade.
Oh, no.
I think Cade would
Yeah.
fill my spot,
Yeah.
wear my hat, and
Yeah, they'll forget
in
all about
memory.
you.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, I mean, if
picture
you're
on the wall.
overdue by a week, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
sorry,
we're moving
dude.
on.
Yep. Too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to move on. No. But no, it's wild where the Rainers have taken us. We've been to Japan.
Yeah.
You went to Brazil.
Yeah.
You've been Italy and all over the place.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, the thing that I just marvel at a lot of the time when I sit back and think about it is, you know, y'all have got your stories too, but I came from a cow farm in Nebraska, you know, very simple beginnings, but because of the horse business, been all over the world, went to Brazil, met my amazing wife, Paula. You know, we rub shoulders with famous people, wealthy people, you know, stuff. If I was a farm guy from Nebraska and walked up next to these people, you know, they would have no reason to talk to me. But now they think we're interesting because we know stuff about horses, you know.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's
for
really
sure.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't take it for granted. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I always think about, like I said, with going to China and we've been to Japan
Yeah.
and been to Australia, just like how no one would, if someone would have told me that when I
Yeah,
was little, there's
never.
just no way.
Yeah.
You know?
I got a great story about something just like that.
Yeah.
We got off the plane in Mexico, and we were going through security, and security was slow, and it was a big line.
Customs.
And
We were
these
going through
guys,
customs.
yes,
Just a couple years
customs.
ago. Just a couple years ago.
And these guys kind of get sick of me, like, you know,
Really?
they get pretty sick of me
Yeah,
sometimes.
weird, huh?
And I'm like, we're in line, and I'm like, don't they know who we are? Come on. We're standing in line like this. Because I kind of like to go around lines. I don't care if it costs a little bit extra, but there was no option for that. I mean, I'd have paid good money to go around the line.
And the line zigzags back
Yeah.
and
Oh,
forth.
I know
right?
exactly.
Zigzag. I said,
Yeah,
don't
there's
know. And
about
these two
1,000
guys
people.
Yeah.
don't they know who we are. And these two guys are just rolling their eyes like, yeah, you moron. And then some lady goes, I mean, a freaking hot blonde lady.
Wait a minute.
Wasn't it?
I don't know.
Ah, she's a little.
She was.
Joe, you're being
she
very
was,
diplomatic.
She
here.
was
okay.
She had already made it around the bend back this way, and she says, "Isn't that Mandy from the show? from that cowboy show?
That's so funny.
Oh yeah, didn't say nothing about Tom.
It's awesome.
That's not how it went
Oh,
down.
that's not how it went. Damn.
That's
I
awesome.
thought for sure that's how it went.
Yeah.
They said, "Aren't you that guy from the last cowboy?" And then I said, "See, guys, we shouldn't be in this line."
So funny.
But we still had to stay in line. But it went much faster because we kind of had to keep passing them, and they kept talking to us like we were somebody special.
Yeah, he got excited every time. He's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
there she is. She knows me."
Hey, you want a
and-
picture with us? And
And she was like, "Nah, I'm
really.
good.
Not
I'm
really.
good."
So, I mean, there was, 500 to 1,000 people in that line, and just one of them knew him, okay?
Yeah.
Just one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody know you?
No.
Okay.
Maybe the customs guy. But
So 100% more
That's what
people
I'm
knew me.
doing the math on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
it was kind of it made this whole week. It made this whole week.
Yeah, he was pretty excited.
Made it unbearable for me on the golf
I've told that
course.
story 6 times just on the show.
Yeah, and it made the line go a little faster.
Oh, yeah.
it was because
When you're appreciated.
Here they come
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
because
Yep.
we came around the corner and we saw all those people. We were like, "Oh no." It was bad, and then that happened, so we laughed.
Oh,
for a few
yeah.
minutes.
You get off the plane in Mexico. Where'd we fly into?
Don't remember.
Yeah,
Was it Mexico City?
that was Cancun. It was
Cancun.
I don't know. Well, we did fly into Mexico City once.
that wasn't Mexico City though.
Huh? Well, I don't remember where.
That's
I'd
when
go
you
with
did the
these
Charles
people.
right now.
Yeah, that's what I think I did.
But
same
speaking
thing.
of that, I mean, we've been everywhere too. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
we
you
went.
more than me probably, but I
Yeah,
had
it's
great experiences.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know what I wanted to ask you? Were you before, after, or during Jeff Petska at Carroll's?
I was before and during. Yeah.
Okay.
I think when I came back from Brazil, maybe we were there at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good dude. He was,
Oh, yeah, we had a great time.
chef on all the teams we went to the Wegs
He
with,
was-
and
Yeah.
that was a good dude. If I have a regret, I wish that we would have got him on the show
Yeah.
when he
He
was,
would've been
you
good.
know, right,
Before
we knew that he was sick, but there was time there. I wish we'd have had him on the show, but
yeah, I had
you know,
lots of good memories with him out there. He's a great guy.
good dude. Yeah, good dude. Yeah, and so many memories because for me the WEG games are memories in them in and of themselves, and then you add, you know, Jeff was such a huge part of all of that. I mean,
It's a little emotional, but his celebration of life, you know, I did better at his than I did Lynn Johnson's, but I was sitting there watching that. But the talk you gave there and your memories of the WEG games and all that, and for those who weren't there, Tom said, you know, those are the best memories of my horse career, was that whole experience, and Jeff was a big part of it, and I totally get it, but that was my favorite part of the whole, you know, I thought that was really cool.
yeah,
Yeah, and I get it.
no, Jeff was amazing, and he was fun to have with us because he's a fun dude too.
He's so darn funny.
You know,
Yeah.
he's just a good dude. So
Remember, we were at Carroll's, and it was cold, but I forget what the bet was, but somebody dared him to strip down to his underwear and sing some song in the arena there with people riding around. He did it.
oh, I imagine he
Yeah,
did.
he did it.
I've seen him do it without
yeah.
a dare.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it on beer.
Yeah. And I remember when our daughter was born, she's 32, 33 now. Yeah. When she was newborn, I mean, he came over and he was just so darn cool, you know, so cool with her. And he's a good guy.
Yeah.
I miss him.
I can't remember if it was you or him. One of you, when I was over there in the wintertime, I went over to Carroll's to look at some horses, and I can't remember which one of you it was, but one of you got me introduced to the card hearts, riding in the card hearts. Was it you or
It
him?
was probably him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you say? Carhartts?
Yeah, the full body.
Carhartt.
There's no
What'd I
D
say?
There's no
involved.
D, dude. Carhartt.
Carhartt.
Yes.
I
And
always
that's
call-
going to be the end of the show this week. Tom mispronouncing
Carhartt.
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 Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna
Are
keep
you
saying it.
serious, dude?
You just go,
God,
Tom.
that
gonna
is
say it how I want to
that's
say it.
embarrassing,
Say
sir.
ask. Say
Shoot,
ask.
Carhartt. What the? That's like
Carhartt.
short pants.
Yeah, I
Whenever you
say
always
that
say
too.
that. God, I can
say
see
short-
short
Car-
pants
he
kind
said
of, but
car- you said
Carhartt,
Carhartt.
no.
Yeah,
I've
But
never
then-
heard anybody say that.
That's Carhartt. You Carhartt.
Carhartt.
Yeah.
He's from Wisconsin. or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
They say talk different up there.
Yeah.
But anyway, those were that was really good for a long time, and then at some point in time, you wash those things enough and go over through enough years, and they don't fit anymore.
Yeah, yeah, it is about that damn
Yeah.
soap.
Notice
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I have stuff
those
that just don't fit the
Carhartts,
same.
they
Yeah.
shrink.
They
over
turn
the
into
years.
Carhartt.
Yeah, that stupid soap. Shrinking stuff.
Well, boys,
Yeah, that was great, Brent.
Brent, thanks.
I am honored to be here. Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
that was
it.
very fun.
Great show.
Yeah, thanks for being here, man.
Boom.
All right.
Yep.
Grow the show.